In today's digital age, Generation Z, often referred to as the Sigma generation, faces a new challenge: brain rot. The relentless pursuit of success, coupled with excessive digital consumption, leads to a decline in cognitive function, known as brain rot. The irony is that while the Sigma mindset encourages productivity, the very tools they rely on, such as smartphones and social media, may be sabotaging their efforts. Brain rot describes the decline in cognitive function due to excessive digital media consumption. Symptoms include difficulty focusing, poor memory, and reduced attention span, often caused by excessive screen time and social media's addictive nature. The passive nature of digital media consumption further contributes to brain rot, leading to a decline in cognitive flexibility and creativity. Digital media has fundamentally altered how we consume and process information, often overwhelming our cognitive resources. Excessive screen time disrupts sleep patterns and impairs cognitive function, affecting memory, attention, and decision-making abilities. Studies suggest that our digital habits may be altering brain structure, impacting social and emotional intelligence. Our increasingly digitized world is eroding our attention spans. Constant notifications and updates fragment our focus, making it difficult to concentrate on a single task. Social media platforms, designed to be addictive, reinforce the habit of seeking instant gratification over sustained attention. This decline in attention span affects our ability to learn, think critically, and engage in meaningful conversations. In today's hyper-connected world, distractions are everywhere, leading to a state of perpetual partial attention. Brief interruptions can significantly impair performance on tasks requiring focus, leaving us mentally exhausted and less productive. Constant connectivity can lead to social isolation, as we prioritize online interactions over face-to-face conversations. Multitasking is largely an illusion, as our brains are not wired for true multitasking. Rapidly switching between tasks consumes time and mental energy, reducing productivity and increasing errors. Multitasking often leaves us feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and less productive overall. Social media addiction, driven by constant notifications and the pursuit of digital dopamine, often masks a darker side. This addiction can lead to neglect of real-life relationships and hobbies, and a decline in self-esteem due to social comparison. The image of the smartphone hand reaching for the brain visually represents the grip social media can have on our minds. Gaming's toll on the mind. While video games can offer entertainment, stress relief, and even cognitive benefits in moderation, excessive gaming has been linked to a range of negative consequences, including addiction, sleep deprivation, and impaired cognitive function. The immersive nature of video games, particularly those in the MMORPG, or massively multiplayer online role-playing game genre, can lead to players spending countless hours in virtual worlds, neglecting their real-life responsibilities and relationships. This escapism, while tempting, can have serious consequences for social development, academic performance, and overall well-being. Furthermore, the rapid pace and constant stimulation of many video games can overstimulate the brain's reward system, leading to a decline in sensitivity to dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation. This can result in a diminished sense of satisfaction from everyday activities and a craving for more intense stimulation, potentially contributing to gaming addiction. This section delves into the potential downsides of excessive gaming, highlighting its addictive potential and the impact on sleep, social interaction, and cognitive function. The image of the solitary gamer in the dimly lit room emphasizes the isolating nature of excessive gaming. A history of brain rot concerns. The concept of brain rot is not new. Throughout history, each new technological advancement has been met with skepticism and concern about its potential impact on our minds. From the printing press to the radio to television, each innovation has sparked debate about its potential to distract, desensitize, or even harm our cognitive abilities. In the early 20th century, the rise of radio was met with concerns that it would lead to a decline in reading and critical thinking skills. Similarly, the advent of television in the mid-20th century sparked fears that it would turn us into passive consumers of entertainment, glued to our screens and oblivious to the world around us. While these concerns may seem alarmist in retrospect, they highlight an important point. Any technology that has the power to capture our attention and shape our habits also has the potential to influence our cognitive development, for better or for worse. This section provides historical context for the current concerns about brain rot, demonstrating that each new technological advancement has been met with similar anxieties about its impact on our minds. The image of the timeline with speech bubbles illustrates the cyclical nature of these concerns. Echoes of the past. Media's historical impact. The fear of brain rot induced by new technologies is not a new phenomenon. Throughout history, each wave of technological innovation has been met with anxieties about its potential impact on our minds. Socrates, for example, lamented the invention of writing, fearing it would weaken memory and hinder true understanding. He believed that knowledge should be cultivated through dialogue and debate, not passively absorbed from written texts. Centuries later, the printing press, hailed as a revolutionary tool for spreading knowledge, also sparked concerns. Some critics worried that the abundance of printed material would lead to intellectual laziness, as people became accustomed to passively consuming information rather than actively engaging with it. They feared a decline in critical thinking and original thought. The advent of radio in the early 20th century further fueled these anxieties. Critics worried that this new medium would create a generation of passive listeners, their imaginations dulled by the constant stream of pre-digested entertainment. The concern was that instead of engaging in meaningful conversations or immersing themselves in literature, people would become overly reliant on radio for their information and entertainment. These historical examples serve as a reminder that every technological advancement brings with it both promises and perils. While new technologies can undoubtedly enhance our lives in countless ways, they can also have unintended consequences, particularly when it comes to our cognitive abilities. The key is to approach these innovations with a critical eye, mindful of their potential impact on our minds and habits. The gray matter drain. Digital media's cognitive toll. While historical concerns about brain rot may have been dismissed as alarmist, modern research is beginning to reveal the tangible impact of excessive digital media consumption on our brains. Studies using brain imaging techniques, such as magnetic resonance imaging, or MRI, have shown that individuals who spend excessive time online may experience structural changes in their brains, particularly in areas associated with attention, memory, and emotional regulation. One study published in the journal PLOS ONE found that young adults who were classified as having internet addiction had reduced gray matter volume in regions of the brain involved in impulse control, decision-making, and empathy. These findings suggest that excessive internet use may be linked to alterations in brain structure that could impair cognitive function and emotional well-being. Further research has shown that excessive screen time, particularly among children and adolescents, can have a detrimental impact on cognitive development. A study published in the journal JAMA Pediatrics found that children who spent more than 2 hours per day on screens had lower scores on tests of language and thinking skills compared to those who spent less time on screens. These findings are concerning, as they suggest that our digital habits may be having a tangible impact on the very structure and function of our brains. While more research is needed to fully understand the long-term consequences of excessive digital media consumption, these studies provide compelling evidence that our brains are not immune to the effects of our increasingly digital lifestyles. A generation at risk, protecting young minds. Excessive digital media consumption impacts children and adolescents, whose brains are still developing. Young people today grow up in a vastly different media landscape with unprecedented access to screens. While digital immersion offers benefits, it also poses risks to cognitive development and well-being. Excessive screen time can interfere with language acquisition, attention span, and social-emotional intelligence. The passive nature of digital activities can hinder skill development, leading to learning difficulties and social challenges. The addictive nature of digital platforms can have a potent effect on young minds. Notifications and rewards create a cycle of instant gratification, making it harder to focus on sustained activities. Protecting young minds requires a multifaceted approach. Parents, educators, and policymakers must promote responsible digital habits and set healthy screen time limits. Screens and the developing brain, a trifecta of impact. The digital age has ushered in an era of unprecedented screen exposure, impacting individuals across all age groups. Children, teenagers, and adults each face unique challenges in this digital landscape. Screens are ingrained in our daily lives, affecting cognitive functions and well-being. For children, screens are digital pacifiers, captivating young minds. Mobile devices offer endless entertainment, keeping children engaged for hours. Excessive screen time can hinder social, emotional, and cognitive development. Adults are also drawn to screens, with streaming services offering endless content. Excessive consumption can lead to sleep deprivation and reduced physical activity. Teenagers are particularly vulnerable during critical brain development periods. The digital world influences their social, emotional, and cognitive growth. The teenage brain, a landscape altered by social media. Social media has become an integral part of teenage life, offering a platform for connection, self-expression, and exploration. However, the pervasive nature of social media, with its constant stream of curated content and social comparisons, can have a profound impact on the developing teenage brain, influencing body image, self-esteem, and even mental health. The carefully curated feeds of social media often present an unrealistic and idealized version of reality, leading teenagers to engage in social comparison, measuring themselves against the seemingly perfect lives of others. This constant exposure to filtered images and curated narratives can fuel feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and low self-esteem, particularly in those who are already struggling with body image issues or social pressures. Moreover, the instant gratification and validation-seeking nature of social media can rewire the teenage brain's reward system, leading to an unhealthy dependence on likes, comments, and online interactions for a sense of self-worth. This dependence can have detrimental effects on real-life relationships, as teenagers may prioritize online interactions over face-to-face connections, leading to feelings of isolation and loneliness. While social media can provide a platform for connection and support, it also exposes teenagers to cyberbullying, online drama, and potentially harmful content, which can have lasting impacts on their mental and emotional well-being. The anonymity of the internet can embolden individuals to engage in hurtful behavior they might not otherwise engage in offline, leading to increased anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts among teenagers. The urgency of preserving gray matter. Excessive digital media consumption, especially among younger generations, may be contributing to a decline in cognitive function and overall well-being. Our brain appears to be undergoing changes due to relentless digital stimulation. The erosion of attention spans and rise of social media addiction represent a fundamental shift in how we think and interact. Preserving gray matter is about safeguarding our ability to think critically and empathize. It's crucial to address the risks of excessive digital media consumption, especially for developing brains. While research is still evolving, the evidence warrants a cautious approach. Just as we prioritize physical health, we must prioritize cognitive health by being mindful of our digital habits. The time to act is now, to reclaim our minds from digital overload and rediscover focused attention and meaningful connections. A call to digital mindfulness. The solution to combating the brain rot phenomenon is not to shun technology altogether, After all, digital tools have become indispensable in our modern world. The key lies in cultivating digital mindfulness, a conscious and deliberate approach to our technology use, one that prioritizes our well-being and empowers us to harness the benefits of technology without succumbing to its potential downsides. Just as we practice mindfulness in our daily lives, paying attention to the present moment without judgment, we can apply the same principles to our digital interactions. This involves setting healthy boundaries, such as designating tech-free zones or times of day, being selective about the content we consume online, and prioritizing real-life interactions over digital ones whenever possible. Reclaiming our minds from the digital deluge also requires rediscovering the joys of activities that foster deep focus, creativity, and intellectual stimulation. Engaging in activities such as reading, writing, playing a musical instrument, or simply spending time in nature can help strengthen our cognitive muscles, foster a sense of calm, and enhance our overall well-being. The digital age presents both unprecedented opportunities and unique challenges. By embracing digital mindfulness, we can navigate this new landscape with awareness and intention, harnessing the power of technology to enhance our lives while safeguarding our cognitive health and preserving the essence of what makes us human. The choice is ours, to succumb to the allure of brain rot or to reclaim our minds and shape a future where technology empowers, rather than diminishes, our human potential.